Welcome here to Yoke. I haven't been out here in a while. They're actually having a big, huge community meeting today, but I thought I'd walk around the village, show a little bit about their place, and I haven't walked the runway in a long time, so I kind of like just to walk to the end just to take a look at it and see. The wind is favoring me today, so I've got some time today. I've got a headwind for takeoff, so I can stay here as long as I want. So this airstrip is, I believe, right around the 500-meter mark or so. It's flat, maybe a 1.5%, I think. We've got a tailwind today for landing. You guys can see the windsock just fluttering around. I think I had around 4 knots. My maximum for landing here is 5 knots. And some of the reasons behind that is just because if you've got a tailwind pushing you in, I was at my max weight being able to land here. Now you're heavy, you've got a wind coming in, pushing you in, and you're already at your highest approach speed. It's just a lot harder to be able to stop, but today wasn't bad at all because it's really nice, dry. Grass is really cut nicely, so. In desperate need of some new cones. Just look at that view. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? Never gets old to look at, that's for sure. This is right where I touched down today. That cone right there and the windsock is about usually where I like to touch down. So with my tailwind today, I still landed about 30 meters past, almost 100 feet past where I prefer to touch down. Still work today because it's dry and everything else, but that's why you don't land with super strong tailwinds. So down off this hill, there you go, you can see a little bit of the river now. Really pretty down there. Actually, this time of year is actually eel season. I didn't know that, but I guess the eels come up, lay all their eggs. So there's a ton of eels on there. There's not that many fish for you fishermen out there. It's some bottom feeders, I've been told, but that's about it. They can get a lot of eels out of this one, and then another smaller river over here that they're able to get a bunch of them out. So one thing culturally that I learned today here in Yoke, a little different, but I guess someone had passed away on one of the trails or something. I don't know the whole story behind it, but basically one group, one clan has to pay another clan some money to make, basically clean the ground area for them to be able to continue using it. So that's what's going on today. I don't really know anything else other than that, but there's quite a few people around in this small village that usually only has maybe like 200 people in it. So I'm gonna take you guys down, show you guys a little bit brief walk around of their village. Then we'll jump in, head back to Goroka on a 40-minute flight, flying down this valley right here, the Jimmy Valley, one of the prettiest valleys here in Papua New Guinea. Depending on how the clouds are, we might fly over the highest mountain as well, Mount Wilhelm, 15,000 feet, depending on how many clouds are up there. Otherwise, it's just a waste of time to go up there. So let's go check out their village. Don't really want to bother them, but they're just starting their ceremonies here to cleanse the ground amongst a couple of clans. Morning to blah. I'll get the DY and low on him. Oh, low one, huh? Oh, and plenty pig. Oh, 2 pours. Yes, I guess they're going to be putting pigs on each one of these. Well, let's head over here, take a look at their school, and then I'll get out of here. So all this area here, they made this fence and stuff, and this grandstand. They had the governor come in for this area and give them some funds, I believe, for their school and some other things. So that's why all this has been made to look nice. These colorful bags are called bilims, and the ladies knit them together. Morning.
Morning.
Let me go look, school. Oh, picking any stop today or no guy? Okay. So these 3 buildings here are their school buildings. They are in school, so I'm just gonna make this brief so I'm not bothering their schoolwork. I believe this is the teacher's house, or the schoolmaster's house, I believe. Hey, morning, I'll get that. Morning.
Morning.
Teacher no stop, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. People are learning morning today. I am pig, I am dog, I am cat, I am fish, I am bird, I am frog. No, people are learning English, huh? Nice, yeah. So at these schools, they actually teach them English. I mean, they have like their trade language, and they also know Pidgin, which is just the trade language for Papua New Guinea. And then they're also learning English. If they can learn English, there's a much higher chance that they can get out into one of the nearby towns, maybe get a job as they get older, things like that. At least that's the hope. Morning. It's crazy to think, just a couple of years ago, this was all just a bunch of gardens and bush. This little tiny hut right here, a few years ago we did a solar panel project for these guys. That is their medical clinic, and they didn't have any lights or anything like that. They didn't have a way to store their vaccines. So you guys, the viewers, actually raised up some money to buy a solar panel system that does lights in there for night. So if they need to stitch somebody up at night, and then also keep vaccines cool in a cooler. So thank you to all you guys. Well, I got word there was gonna be 26 pigs and like a 3,000 kina price to basically buy back some land or whatever it is. But anyway.
System test. Okay.
Okay, let's go. Sure, I don't have any dogs in front of me or kids. Alright, G staple at 20. Watching the rate of my ITT coming up. And it seemed to be a normal start. Moresby 1285, November Tango Echo Taxi. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get him on the ground here. Moresby 1267, November Tango Echo Taxi. No worries, we'll get him in the air. Right, let's do the buddy check real quick. Takeoff and landing checklist. Our fuel, our caps, our selectors are good. Our controls, our systems we did this morning, our train awareness system will turn off. Switches and instruments, we're going up to 11,000 today. For takeoff performance is 55 knots for rotate today. Be off very early today because I'm empty. Flaps set, indicated, and verified at 20. Let's set up our trim. All right, we're going to be 40 knots by those red bushes up there with the cone on the right. Looks like we'll have a headwind, quartering headwind like we did for landing. For takeoff, our ignition, inlet, and lights are good. Ignition, condition, flaps 20, fuel, and harnesses. Checklist is complete. I'm sure all the kids are getting behind my airplane as quickly as they can right now so that they can get blown by the prop. I'd do it too if I was 8 years old. All right, here we go. 1520, rotate 55. Oh, we're going. There we go. All right, ITT is set. Nice strong 8-knot wind. There we go. Bring our power up to 740. And let's pitch on up, make a right-hand turn to get out of here. And I'm going to take you down one of the coolest valleys that I know of here in Papua New Guinea. I love this valley. It's so beautiful, I think. With just the grass, the river, just really cool. Let's get our flaps up. Our prop back. Let's bring our power on back though. We don't need to be cruising this much here at sea level. Hop on back to 2,000. And like I said, let's bring our power all the way back so our fuel flow down here is around 320. And let's see if we can get a hold of Moresby now. Moresby 1285, November Tango Echo, departure.
Tango Echo, Tango Zulu 1285, you need me relay?
Yeah, if you don't mind. We just let them know that I've departed Yambaitok on the hour, estimating Goroka time 4:05. We'll be tracking up to 15 miles left of track.
Moresby, North Tango Zulu 128.5. November Tango Zulu relay for November Tango Echo. November Tango
500.
Echo departed Yambaitok on the hour, estimating Goroka 4:05. 15 left of track due weather.
Request advice November Tango Echo, upper climb to call on 126, question 120.1.
Will advise North Tango Echo. Break, North Tango Echo, North Tango Zulu.
Yep, copied. We'll be monitoring 1201. November Tango Echo. All right, this is just what you have to do to be able to get a hold of Moresby sometimes. What we can do is put terrain on right here and you can just see the river. We're just going to be following this river up here, and once we get out here we might start our climb, but depending on what the clouds are doing, I'm thinking it's pretty clear out today. But if you guys would like to experience this exact same flight, I have this posted on my Patreon page for all you flight simmers out there that want to start getting into flying Papua New Guinea. This is probably where I'd start. This is a really cool valley. Even on a computer game, this would be a pretty cool valley. But we've got a pretty hard right-hand turn coming up here, and it gets really narrow in here. Believe it or not, on mornings coming out here to Yambaitok, clouds are really low in this area, and a lot of times you'll just have to fly up the river just as low as we are today to get up in there, because there's a high, overcast layer that we can't get back down. So it's best to come down way out there and then work your way in here. Sure is beautiful out here. So you can see all this grass through here is all like a really nice green, fresh looking grass. It's because they burn all of these hills during dry season, and then man, new grass just spurts up like crazy fast. But it does clear it off, makes it easier for them to walk on their trails, clean out a garden, make sure there's not snakes that they're walking over, things like that. They also do it for hunting, but I think mainly it's just to clear the lands. All right, this is the last tightest turn through here, and look at that river. So this right here, let's take the terrain off. This lighter area right here is the Jimmy Valley, which is the Jimmy River. So we're gonna head all the way up here, and you can see this dark area right here. That's where the highest mountain is. It looks like there's quite a few clouds up there, so it's probably not gonna work to fly up there today, but I do have some of the videos showing that. We're gonna fly down this valley and then head off to the left of it, just like we told Moresby what we're gonna do. Because this mountain is right on our track, and we're going to have to go one way or the other. Just because we're getting into now noon, all the clouds on all the mountain tops are really going to start building up. And so I really have to work my way down valleys to be able to get back home today. It's going to be the most effective way by far. Typically, I would jump over into this other valley right up here by YBA Yabal, because that's a huge valley. I know it works, but I've taken you guys that route a few times where I've never taken you this route specifically, except maybe I think coming this way once a few years ago, like 3 years ago. So keep it fresh for myself, keep it fresh for you guys. We're gonna go this way. It's gonna pose a little bit more of a difficult problem getting into the Goroka Valley, because we're gonna have a lot more clouds over tops of the mountain ranges. So we either have to go above them, through them, but regardless, or underneath of them and try to work our way underneath, depending on how cloudy it is. So far, since I have left Yambaitok, I have not flown over one other village, which is pretty crazy actually, that there's nobody that lives right along that route. I got some trees and stuff all knocked down over here, and I do see like a couple of houses, but definitely no village, that's for sure. Oh, there we go, over there on the edge of the cliff. Oh, where this valley comes out, this 9 Jimmy, that right there is where we're hoping that we can go around the corner. It opens up, we'll start making our climb up to probably 9 or 1,000 feet. We're at 2,000 now. And try to find a way that we can work our way back into the Goroka Valley. Just looking ahead, it just looks like there's just a ton of clouds over all of these mountains, basically all through there. And it looks like there might be some potential rain up there as well. So we'll see what it looks like once we get a little bit closer. It's pretty crazy and hard to believe, but this valley right here, I bet you that there are at least 10 different language groups, bare minimum, that we've already passed since we've left Ulaanbaatar just 20 minutes ago since takeoff. Because Papua New Guinea actually has over 800 completely different language groups. They have a trade language that they can all communicate, well, most of them can communicate amongst themselves, or together, I should say. But overall, just in the Goroka Valley, we've got 8 different language groups that are completely different. It's just mind-boggling. Well, if you guys can see just straight ahead, it just looks like a bunch of mountains off here and all the way around. So if it's an unfamiliar area, I always turn on my terrain here. And then you can see real quick, well, that we're below basically everything we need to get out of this valley. And if we remain here, oh, red, you're dead. So there you go. So let's head on up just a little bit. If we zoom in, we're going all the way out here to 9 Jimmy. So we're going up the valley just a little bit further up the river, but I do need to climb to get out of here. I don't know what it is right now, but what I can do is put the cursor on and head on over here. And right in this area, you can see right up here, it's 5,700 feet. So let's just say 5,000 or 6,000 feet to get out of this valley is what we're gonna need. Then once we get a little bit of a yellow bit through there, then we know that we're gonna be clear of at least basically 100 feet to 1,000 feet. That's what the yellow indicates. Red is 100 feet and below. Now that we're gonna climb, I'm gonna add a little bit of power just so we can get up there a little bit quicker. I am melting down here at nearly sea level today. We do have some rain up here. Looking on the other side of these mountains, I've also got rain. All these ridge tops over here are clear. So worst case scenario, I can always jump over these, head into the Wagi Valley and then up to Goroka, but I'd kind of like to see going this way. I think I actually needed to be on that side. You guys can see. Yes, I did. Let me go over here. Otherwise, I'm just going to get up to this valley and get not out where I want to. That's why having terrain on is nice when it's areas that you're not really familiar with. There is quite a bit of rain once we get up in here, though, it looks like, and a lot of lower clouds. We'll pop up to the top level of this mountain and then determine if it's worth our time sticking our nose up in there and trying to get out that way, or if it's just going to be a lot easier and safer just to go the other way. We'll determine once we get up here. You guys can see it's starting to turn yellow right along the river. Alright, I've got another 1,200 feet to go really before a lot of this clears out, because you can still see it's red right where it says Jimmy. And there's a lot of lower clouds with drizzly rain. Although that actually might be on this red part over here on the other side of the valley. So we'll go up a little bit further. If not, then we'll just cut across here and out there. It looks like I can get over top of those ridge tops pretty easy. Okay, it is looking like 5,300 is going to get me through that valley now safely. I've still got a good 15-20 miles visibility, even though there is some light drizzle, light rain in the valley. Because I'm seeing all the way up here and it's nice and clear, I'm going to go ahead and continue on up this valley. We'll stay off to the right side of it, so we've got plenty of room to make a left-hand turn to get out if need be. That way, I can also see further down this valley sooner by being on the right side of this valley. It really makes it more difficult to see though when it is sprinkling like this. It just doesn't beat off the windshield very quickly. Just got a hard left-hand turn, and then we'll just cut straight out all the way out here into this sea peak area right out here, and then start making our climb around that corner up to 9,000 for the Osaloka Gap. Yep, it's actually looking really clear. All that rain was just right there, and then up further on these mountains, up these little tiny finger valleys. But where we're going, right out to the left, it's starting to look much more hopeful. I'm at 5,500 feet right now, and we're looking right here at the Jimmy. It looks like it might drop off on either side of it. Should be able to squeeze right through here, or even a little bit better off to the left. seeing quite a ways out into the sea peak area out here. More than likely, I'll just cross this ridge and then just start a descent to get down back underneath all the clouds. Once we're out here, probably another mile or two past these edges of the mountains, I'm imagining it's starting to really clear up and be more of a scattered clouds. This is the last ridge right here before it really starts dropping down to the
500.
Get out through this last little gap out through there, and then we'll be clear of the mountains around here, and then we'll start our climb up to 9,000. Actually, it looks like I'm already starting to see it breaking up right here, so let's go ahead and start our climb now. Up through this last tiny little cloud right here, all this green area right here, it's going to be just absolutely perfectly clear. All the brown area, there's still going to be a lot of high clouds spilling out off of this highest mountain right here up to 15,000, so we might have to actually come around over just basically edge of that green area, unless we go all the way up to, you know, 12, 12, 13,000 feet before we can actually go over top of them. So it's probably easiest just to go right around them. Blue holes overhead. Northwest looks plugged. Can see western ridges from Caw down overhead would work best. Okay, well, in that case, north ridge is what I was hoping to go for. Let's climb on up. Let's just go up to a minimum of, say, 14,000 feet. We could just punch through the clouds. Blue holes overhead. We could just, don't have anybody on board today, so we could just go down as quickly as we want. Morse Z1201, November Tango Echo.
November Tango Echo, most good.
November Tango Echo is on climb amended 14,000, dew clouds. Estimating Garoka 52.
Okay, November Tango Echo, confirm amended 14,000 and still waiting up to 15 miles and left the track.
Affirmative 14,000, still 15 left the track. November Tango Echo.
November Tango Echo, 14,000, 15 miles left the track, no report of traffic. 15 miles Garoka, contact Garoka Tower, 118.7.
Contact Garoka Tower 15, November Tango Echo. I was trying to get my oxygen working, but it just keeps blowing my hose off no matter what. Oxygen rules here in Papua New Guinea are basically anything over 10,000 up to including 14,000, you don't have to wear oxygen for 30 minutes as a pilot. Over 14,000, you have to put it on, or over 30 minutes. So I'm only going up for probably about 10 minutes over 10,000 at most, probably not even that, before I start my descent heading back down. That's why I can still legally not wear oxygen, although I typically would. It does make you make better decisions. I'm starting to see some blue sky way through there. That's heading directly over top of the Garoka Valley. So that's my plan. Slide right through here, probably even only at 13,000. Can I start seeing some holes? We'll just dive on back down. We've got 5 miles to run for the Asa Loka Gap. I'm already at 13.3. I'm seeing down at least what I believe is into the Garoka Valley, or at least lowering clouds. Maybe not into the valley all the way, but we're going to start a descent now. Start trekking a little bit more over that way because that's where the valley starts opening up the biggest, the soonest. We'll break out a little bit earlier and then we can really start our descent quickly down to 6,100 for pattern altitude. Garoka Tower, November Tango Echo.
November Tango Echo, Garoka Tower.
Good day, November Tango Echo, 15 miles to the north, 13,000 on descent, your circuit 51.
November Tango Echo, runway 35 right, QNH 1021, windish calm. Call again left downwind.
Call again left downwind, 35 right, November Tango Echo. Approach speed is 62 knots, I've got that put in. That all goes off of our weight of the aircraft. Today we're pretty light out, so that's why we're way down here at the bottom of the list. You guys like these sunglasses? I still do have them on sale for you. I know times are tough right now, so I've dropped the price quite a bit for you guys. If you guys are looking for a nice pair of sunglasses that have metal frames, glass lenses that don't scratch very easy, I've been using these every day for this pair almost a year now. Well, actually, no, over a year now because I started last June with these, and they still don't have a scratch on them. and I wear them every day flying. We've got 7 miles to run. We're definitely over the valley. We just haven't got a break in the clouds yet to start going down very quickly. So I'm going to start bringing my power back now. Slow on down. Prop on forward. That will also help me slow down. Okay. Yeah, that's a really long way down. I think I'm going to make a left-hand turn here into a nice bank. This is a really quick way to lose altitude. Get into a really steep bank. Don't make any crazy adjustments because your speeds are up pretty high. We'll just start slowly bringing them down below our maneuvering speed. There we go. Then we can crank it into a little bit more of a bank. And there we go. Now we're going up to 2,600 feet per minute. Let's start up our landing checklist with the buddy check. Our fuel selectors are on. Our TOS is where it needs to be. Today we've already got our VREF set up at 62 at the slowest. Lights and inlet are done. Start bringing our power back in, nice and slow. If we have to go around, it's power up, 20 degrees of flaps, pitch for 73 knots, maneuvers required. Prop and harness is done. 10 degrees of flaps. November Tango Echo, left downwind, 35 right.
And November Tango Echo, runway 35 right, slightly wet, clear to land.
Clear to land, 35 right, November Tango Echo. I hope you guys enjoyed that flight. Nice scenic way back, for sure, even for myself, and a tour of the village. So if you guys enjoyed that tour and you want to see more of those, leave a comment below. I want to know your thoughts if you guys like that kind of stuff. Let's go full flaps, checklist is complete. Here's 5,600, turning final. And now to tailwind. Runway is clear, we're continuing. We're coming in closer to 70 because I'm empty and don't need to come in so slow. 2 knots of tailwind. Runway's all clear. Completely dry down here, maybe a slight miss of water, and then right here, it gets wet. Well, thank you guys for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Share it with your friends. Check out some other videos, and welcome here to Goroka.